Hi everybody, it's Jaraan Onai, bringing you pointers for progress in your spiritual awakening, with a reminder that while knowledge may be power, understanding is mastery. Let's explore. Just felt like I ought to share with you one of probably the most liberating things that was ever shared with me with respect to spiritual awakening, spiritual growth, transformation, recovery, all that stuff. It's a concept that is powerful beyond my ability to describe. And it's one that I probably never would have figured out on my own. And so I'm so grateful that I had somebody. I had a spiritual mentor named Katie who, well, she like peppered me with good ideas. And this was one of them. And of course, whenever she told me, I at first didn't like to hear it. And so you might find it feeling a little ink when I say it. And you don't have to agree. You don't have to believe it if you don't want to. But for me, it was easily one of the most liberating things that was ever shared with me. And when I finally accepted the fact of it, then whole new worlds of possibility opened up. Whole new avenues of transformation opened up. And so, I'd be remiss in my duty as a light worker if I didn't share it with all of you. So, what she said very early in my spiritual growth journey is that you don't know diddly. Of course, she was a little more colorful in her way of saying it. I'm keeping it clean for YouTube. Yeah. When she said that, I was like taken aback, very far aback, because I was quite proud of how smart I was and how much I knew about various things. What I didn't know is how much I didn't know. And of course, when she shared that with me, then I was confronted first with my ego pride that was so proud of all the stuff I knew, and then with my ignorance, which I was so grateful ultimately, not immediately, but ultimately, so grateful to realize. The handy thing about admitting one's ignorance about anything is that then you can have an open mind and heart to learn more, to accept more, to discover more, to be receptive to insight and inspiration. The ET masters have said a few times over the years, like you can't fill a closed jar. If the lid's on the jar, you can't add anything to it, even if it's empty, even if it only has air in it. You can't add anything else because the lid's closed. And whether it looks that way or not, the fact is, when we're already sure of something, then we're not open to anything new because we're already there. The thing about it is, though, is if I was so wise and I was so knowledgeable, why would I still struggle? Why still struggle if you're that all-knowing? Like, well, yeah, because I'm not. And the sooner I can admit that to myself, the sooner that I open a space in my psyche to receive. And that's the place you want to be in, being closed. I was raised by know-it-alls, very authoritarian know-it-alls. And they were absolutely the most closed-minded people. Well, pretty much the most closed-minded people I'd ever met. And so, I got to witness just how messed up that is, to be so sure of stuff when, it's not true. Absolutely not true. Or certainly not true across the board. They treated everything they believed as if it was, divine principle or something, infallible divine principle. Totally not the case. So let it be okay to not know. That's actually one of the most valuable things you can accept about yourself, is you don't yet know it all. And even the things that you do know, take those with a grain of salt, because they may not be 100% true either. And while it can feel a little squirrely inside at first, because the ego loves to have a solid reference point, even if it's a false reference point, it loves to have something solid to relate to refer to identify with. But if what we're at, it's like if we're identified with or hanging on to a leaky life raft, we're still going down. And so it pays to be aware of that kind of thing so that we can respond effectively to the situation. So, yeah, I don't know diddly. I still don't know diddly. And I like that about me. Because it keeps me open. And the more open I am, the more insight I get, the more epiphanies I have, the more solutions I find to whatever may be up. And I have a feeling it could be the same for you too. So, yeah, keep that heart open. Keep that mind open. Let it be okay to not know. Because I guarantee you, the only part of you that can register don't know is your ego. And that's one of the ways to get that ego conditioning out of the way, is to admit you don't know. And that allows for soul wisdom to arise. And that leads to oneness consciousness. So, what seems like a loss is actually a really big win. Anyway, just something to think about. So, ponder away and have fun with that. And I'd love to hear your comments, realizations, questions. Drop those down in the comments too. And hope you're having a fantastic day.